The Grey Cup has come and gone, and so too has Alberta Premier Danielle Smith's self-imposed deadline to get Prime Minister Mark Carney on board with a new oil pipeline to bring Alberta oil from Alberta to the northwest coast of BC to see it exported to markets in Asia. Now, Mark Carney has been Prime Minister since March. He was elected to a new mandate in April. He passed the One Canadian Economy Act, which allows for bad laws that were passed in the Trudeau government to be overridden by the new government, the Carney government, if it so chooses. And the Major Projects Office was opened a number of months ago. Carney has had a heck of a lot of time to get on board with a new pipeline project to the West Coast, but he chooses not to do so. Just last week, when he was asked about it, Prime Minister Mark Carney said that a new oil pipeline was a boring topic and not something his audience wanted to hear about. Well, guess what? It is something Canadians want to hear about. Canadians who want prosperity and economic growth, Canadians who want to rely less on the US market, and Canadians who want to see our economy diversified do want to hear about a new pipeline and do want to see that new pipeline come to fruition. So Prime Minister Mark Carney has a choice to make right now. The deadline has come and gone that Alberta Premier Danielle Smith set, and she needs to get tough with Prime Minister Mark Carney. Now is the time for us to see progress. Now, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith again says that her office is still in dialogue with Prime Minister Mark Carney about overriding some of these laws and getting a new pipeline project done. But it's time for the stalling to stop. Prime Minister Mark Carney opened this Major Projects Office, but so far the major projects he has announced have been a bunch of re-announcements, some of them good projects, some of them okay projects, but they're not the major nation-building projects that we are looking for and that we need at this crucial time for Canada's economy. But a new pipeline to the West Coast is a major nation-building project that we do need to see. So Prime Minister Mark Carney needs to stop stalling, and Alberta Premier Danielle Smith needs to hold him to it. Because it's time for the stalling to end. It's time for Prime Minister Mark Carney to be clear where he stands, and it's time for clarity from Ottawa in general. If you look at what the private sector is saying, why a new pipeline has not come to fruition so far, TC Energy, for example, has said Canada's system is way too complicated, there are way too many hoops to jump through, so why not just go to the US market instead? Prime Minister Mark Carney needs to make it easier for new pipeline projects to be built in Canada, and that means easing the regulatory burden, not just passing a law that allows for one-time overriding when the federal government feels like it. So there's a lot of work to be done, but it's time for politicians to get down and get serious, because we need strong economic growth in this country. Canada is teetering on a recession. Our economy is not doing well. We have seen job losses for a number of months. And something like a major new national pipeline will bring jobs and growth and economic prosperity and allow us to diversify our economy, all things Prime Minister Mark Carney says he wants to see. So he needs to get on board with a new pipeline project, and Alberta Premier Danielle Smith, she's got to start holding his feet to the fire. The negotiations have gone on long enough. It's time for results for the Canadian people.